Welcome, everyone, to a brand new session of Natural One Media. My name is Dylan. I'm here with my friends as we continue our campaign, Dragonmark Symphony, here in the world of Eberron. Been a little bit, but we're back. And we left off at a really interesting point. See, our group here, still not named,
you know what?
We'll get to that eventually. Had congregated at an inn, what once was a Gold Dragon Inn, but has been repurposed by its new owner, Mr. Milo Marigold. When the group arrived, Johannes, who was expecting to have a potential job awaiting for him, and as we learned, so were Silva and her friend, Mr. Thomas Winleaf, only to discover that Thomas had been appointed head chef at the inn, which was thought to be the position that Johannes was going to be gunning for. The result of this is that Mr. Marigold declared a grand competition for the two of them to duke it out and determine who was going to actually be the head chef of the inn. There was a boss fight against a giant fish. There was the possible drinking of poison. Johannes may or may not have been turned into an animal at one point.
Of a platypusial persuasion.
Yes. And much cooking was had. But at the end of that cooking, it was determined that Johannes had come through and was the winner of the competition, thus the newly appointed head chef of the inn. There was much celebrating. It felt like half the town was there. And during this momentous celebration, the three of you were called over to a table by Mr. Marigold, where he had a bit of a proposition for you. He expressed that after the war, resources had grown really scarce. Many of the adventurers that could once be counted on to aid in various, problems, disappearances, quests, assortments of things that the townsfolk may need help with all around the city. A lot of those adventurers had been drafted into the war itself, and many of them didn't return home, unfortunately. The toll of the war was, of course, extremely high, which meant that a lot of adventurers weren't really around to do those things. And Milo believes that it is very bad for business, but also bad for the community at large. So he asked that the three of you be willing to look at the job board that is posted sort of in the town square, closer to the southern gates where you first came in, and, possibly assist some of the local city folk with some of the things that they were having issue with or needed help with. It was noticed that while having this conversation, one Dak had seemingly disappeared and could not be found anywhere. A young boy ran up to the table and informed you that Dak had been escorted out of the inn, potentially, by a figure. Does anyone here remember the description that the boy gave?
Oh, I do not.
This is an investigation. Details are important.
Generally Fey-esque. It was like very interesting colors. I can't remember specifically what the colors were.
Interesting how?
They were not what you would consider standard.
Okay. We are in a fantasy world, so that's not really narrowing things down.
I didn't get
way to turn yourself up, or is
What's up?
there any way you can turn yourself up, or
Move your mic slightly closer to your mouth.
Hello?
It's a little better.
It might just be my mic settings, so let me figure that
That's
out, but
okay.
you guys can...
You're a little quiet, but
You can
I
also scream if you need to, like that's allowed at this table.
I did not actually get there's one of the things I did not write down. The colors.
The details of the person who possibly took Dak away?
Yeah, I missed.
What do y'all write down? Generally speaking.
I wrote down I won the jamboree.
Hey, that's important.
I write down a little
I'm
bit
glad you
less
got
and
your
less,
priorities
especially
straight.
as we get to the end of a session. I'm dealing with the stream.
Wow, the truth comes out.
I know. Oh man, I gotta shut down the stream properly.
Can write things, but we don't have to get into that. A tall woman was described, hair tied back in a ponytail, skin that was pinkish but also violet potentially. And she was escorting a figure that looked very much like Dak out of the building. So Milo gave you all the option. He recommended that you visit the town square in the morning. It's already getting pretty late in the evening. He recommended visiting town square in the morning to use the local map crystal to give yourselves an internalized map of the city, as well as to take a look at the job board. But he also recommended, possibly asking around to some of the denizens of the inn here before they all, leave, or some of them go to their rooms for the evening. Just see if anybody else saw anything, try to get some information, maybe collect some evidence, things of that nature. And that's pretty much where we had left off, with the three of you still in the inn. And Thomas is currently in the process of cleaning up the kitchen in the aftermath of the competition that you all had. And here we are. So what would you all like to do?
Well, I'm a little worried.
So we gotta figure out what happened. We gotta find any type of tracks or trails that we can find of what this person did with Dak.
Yeah. You know what? I'll go take a look outside quick and see if I can see anything they left behind. Does anyone want to stay around and ask some of the people, see if they saw this woman?
Maybe it said if you could do that. I'm gonna try to fly up and see if maybe just I can see them anywhere near the top, like get a vantage point. See if I could see maybe where they're going.
Yeah, I'll talk to some of the people that are just around the tavern and see if they have any kind of information.
All right. So, Johannes, you said you're going to look outside?
Yes.
Where specifically do you want to look?
Well, they said he was just escorted away out of here, correct? So I'm just going to try to... Or would you go ahead, please?
No, yeah, so the young boy told you that she had just kind of escorted him out of the building. Sounded like he was talking about maybe the back entrance out that leads out to the lake, that everyone had been using to, go out to see the first part of the challenge.
Didn't they mention someone mentioned something about the library too, right? Like checking there for information.
Yes, Milo in general was saying that a good place to find information on anything, but also just the city in particular, was to visit the local library.
We can do that.
And that it was a few stops from the apothecary, because if you recall, during the competition set, if I'm not mistaken, you gave one of these bottles of like mystery liquid, these potions, to Bennett to ensure that he wasn't poisoned.
Yes.
But you still had one remaining, and you're not sure about the contents of it or what it could possibly be. So Milo had recommended maybe possibly stopping by the apothecary. It's like an apothecary / like general arcana magical items, establishment. But it's just a few blocks from that library. So
okay. Well, I am then going, and I'm not going to check that out. That's a tomorrow task for tomorrow, Johannes. I want to look around the back entrance to start off, and I just wanted to check out the perimeter of the restaurant or the inn.
Absolutely. Make an investigation check for me.
Yes. Net 20.
Ooh. Oh, your turn. No, your turn to choke.
No, nat 20.
Very, very good. You go outside. You go out through the back entrance there. Pretty much everybody is cleared out. It's now just the giant dead carcass of this fish that's kind of like half in the water, half, beached
like really
upon the shore.
Really nasty. We didn't do anything with this after besides we cocked off like a fillet or two.
It's only been a few hours, so it's not like rotting or anything.
Yeah.
It's just sort of laying there. You can really take in just how like enormous this fish was. But there's no time for that. You kind of look at the entrance outside of the doorway there. You can see in the ground there's the ground is kind of muddy on like the right hand side of the door.
Okay.
There is a set of footprints that you can see. You kind of really look at it, you can kind of trace the lines, and it looks like there's maybe two sets of footprints. There's a smaller, more squared off set, and then there is a larger set by a good like 3 to 4 shoe sizes. And the two of them are sort of walking in tandem, and they kind of move off around the corner of the inn and then disappear into the grass.
And if I follow it towards the grass, I don't see anything either.
Where
does that see like it's going? Like what's past the grass?
It seems like it's kind of wrapping around the side of the inn. But it's going around like sort of the other edge of it. So the way that the inn is positioned, there's a set of like a couple docks right at this back area here where the fish is currently lying.
Yeah.
But then on the other side, like if you were at the front of the inn, there's another set of docks a little across the way. And it kind of looks like it's either heading towards there, or they could be, because unfortunately they kind of disappear after a bit, they could be heading south into sort of that marketplace that you had seen before arriving here. That sort of comes up within like, a few hundred feet of where the inn is stationed.
Okay. Anyone out and about at these times?
Yeah, all kinds of people. It's the evening, so people are kind of wrapping up their business. The few merchants that you can see on kind of the edges of the marketplace there, they're trying to sell off a few more last minute items, preparing, some food or various pelts and things for them. You can see some of the vendors that are already beginning to kind of close up shop. A magical wave of the hand and everything kind of collapses and folds in on itself perfectly neat, and they just kind of take their bundles with them and begin to go. So there's still plenty of traffic around, a lot of people moving around, a lot of hustle and bustle, but people are starting to kind of wind up for the day.
Okay. I'm gonna go to a merchant that was like, are there any like kind of near the inn? I'm gonna go to the closest one, just like kind of peripheral of the inn.
Yeah, ruby red tent, or canopy rather. They're packing up. It looks like a set of various gems of different shapes and sizes. They've got like a wicker basket with them, and they're just taking the gems and sort of stacking them back up into the basket. A parchment floats in the air next to them as a magical quill appears to be taking inventory of the remaining items for the day. As you approach, the merchant looks to you and says, good evening, sir. We're just packing up for the evening, but if you wanted to purchase one of these fine gems, it would be no trouble at all. I'd be more than happy to bring them back out for you.
No, I actually had a question for you. Did you see? You've been selling around here for most of the day, I'm sure. jamboree, lots of going on. Did you see a pair of two people, a taller woman, maybe with like pink or violet skin, seemingly leading away, someone who looks younger, almost just much smaller, almost childlike?
Dak isn't small, right?
Am I stupid?
He's medium sized.
Well, that's a separate thing. Those two things could both be true, but they're not connected.
I wanted to make the point that Dak doesn't look like a child.
Why in my head Dak was like he was like a little bit bigger than me. I don't know why I never knew that.
A lot of it's his posture and their the way they kind of hold themselves. Dak has never been the person who's really like walking out tall and proud out and about. They're usually kind of like sunken away a little bit. They're a little anxious to be around people. They're a little hidden. So they give the appearance of being much shorter than they actually are.
Okay.
So taller than either of us.
Yeah. I'm just dumb, I guess.
That being said, please make a persuasion check for me if you don't mind.
I would be happy to. 21.
21. Yeah, okay. He looks at you and says, I suppose I could. Well, I did see someone like that, yes. The person you described, the tall person, and they had someone with them, yes. They were actually they weren't stopping at any of the shops. I tried to wave them over to offer them one of my priceless gems, and they just sort of kept on walking. They didn't even look at me. I'm sure they probably had somewhere busy to be, but they did go, they headed due south and just were going right past all of these other vendors. They just seemed like they had one location in mind and they just went straight that way.
South is towards the marketplace, correct?
So because you're kind of on the edge of the marketplace going into it now. South would be going further in, and then you would pass that to kind of get into what's known as the Western Ward.
Okay. Into the city more. Okay. Oh, interesting. Well, thank you. I won't keep you from your inventory anymore, but I really appreciate it.
Oh, very kind of you, sir. Do come back tomorrow if you have the chance.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be in the area plenty.
Very well. A good day to you, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna head back.
Okay. You head back. Set, I believe you said that you were going to
talk to just the people in the tavern.
Do some talking within the tavern itself. Describe for me the kind of person that you're looking out for as who you want to just like talk to immediately.
Probably like the we say whoever's like the friendliest, the most like outgoing person at the bar. Just because it seems like they would probably have a good feel for the people around here, and even if they didn't see the person, they may, if they're from around here or they've been here a little bit, they may have seen them before, so they could be like, oh yeah, I've seen them before, but I didn't see them tonight.
Okay. You see the celebration is still in like full swing, tons of people getting drinks. The inn is absolutely filled with people. They've moved multiple of the tables and kind of set them to the side, and they've got this kind of makeshift dance floor going on where now like several couples are sort of dancing and doing various things in the middle of the floor there. You see a fellow who has an arm around the neck of like two of his compatriots and is just like uproariously laughing, already like red in the face, an ale in each hand. Looks like he's having the time of his life and he's talking to everyone. He's got like a small crowd around him as well. Seems like a pretty good mood.
Cool. Yeah, I'll try and squeeze my way over there. interject into the conversation where it opens up and just be like, I can't help but notice that you seem to know a lot of people, seem pretty friendly with the people around here.
I would certainly hope so. And who are you, newfound friend?
Oh, my name is Set. I actually was I'm one of the friends that just won the head chef.
Are you friends with the new head chef? Oh, that's fantastic. How long have you known them for? Were they always this famous?
I wouldn't say they were always this famous, but they were always quite a good cook. So,
I suppose that comes with the territory. Well, you be sure to tell your friend that I said, good job, because that's what they did. It was a very good job.
Absolutely. And who should I tell them said that?
My name is Barnabas. It is a pleasure to make a new acquaintance. I'm so sorry. Jeffrey, take this, please. And he kind of hands off an ale to someone so he can then, he's still got the arm around one of his friends' necks who is also like laughing and just like drinking. And he just sort of like brings the arm around up for a handshake. Barnabas at your service.
Go ahead and shake his hand and go, I go by Set.
Set, yes, and yes. All right. Well, I'm sorry. What was your question again? What's going on?
Yes, I just wanted to stop by and ask if you had by chance seen our other friend that came with us. Ended up walking off apparently with a taller woman with pinkish violet skin. I feel like that would stick out around here, and figured you might know them if they've been in this area.
Indeed, it does. I think I might have seen someone like that. She was here for just a moment. I would have loved to have bought her a drink, but she seemed in a bit of a rush. Just sort of, I think she was back over there by the fireplace. And then I blinked and she was gone. Very brief. But yeah, there was a tall woman, pink velvety skin. Not velvety. Jeffrey, what am I trying to say? And the other fellow there's just like, I think you mean violet. Yes, I meant violet. Yes, absolutely. Like a pink violet mix, like marble. Fascinating thing. Don't see it often around here. But she had a little fellow with her. And now that I think about it, it had like black hair, like mangy black hair. It looked like one of the fellows that you were hanging out with when you were fighting the giant fish out back.
Yes, that does sound like our friend Dak. Thank you.
Well, there you go.
There you go. See where they
call him mangy?
Who said that?
You wouldn't have happened to seen where they went, or if you've seen her around before today?
I'm afraid not. No, I don't recognize her at all. No, I'm afraid not.
Well, it was a pleasure to make your acquaintance regardless, and I thank you for the information.
Thank you, dear boy. I am, once again, my name is Barnabas. Oh my goodness, have I had too much to drink, Jeffrey? And Jeffrey goes, I've had 7 ales. Oh man, so usually I can handle 10 and be just fine, but I guess tonight, the celebrations being what they are. Well, anyways, Barnabas, at your service. If you ever need help with anything else, I work for the Transportation Guild. I have friends in high places over at House Orion. So if you ever need something done, or just need to get somewhere quickly, definitely feel free to stop by.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Give me my ale. And he takes the ale back, throws it back. Now let me tell you all about the time that I invented goats with telescopes, and everybody just like goes into like uproarious like laughter, like, oh my god, tell us more, this sounds amazing. Everybody's just like passing beers around.
Yeah, I will walk away from them and just kind of give the tavern once again like a once over, listen in on some conversations, but it doesn't seem like I'll be getting too much more from anyone.
Yeah, you could do just kind of like a general perception check to kind of sweep the room, see if you spot anybody else that might be worth talking to.
That would be a 17.
For what it's worth, Vanessa, Milo Marigold's niece, as well as Alice, who normally works the bar, the two of them seem to have kind of come back in from outside. They are sort of running around, taking drink orders as well as passing like drinks and food around, just sort of whipping about back each other, shouting things back and forth. It might be worth, trying to snag one of them, see if they know anything themselves.
Yeah, I'll look for an opportunity to just take a moment of their time, and whichever one becomes available first, basically.
Let's see here. Okay. As Vanessa is kind of coming around, she has a tray with like multiple glasses on it, and her ankle catches on a chair leg, and she goes, "Oh no!" And she tilts, and the platter begins to like slide out of her hand. You can try to catch it with a dexterity saving throw if you'd like.
Yes. It's an 18.
18. The people nearby that are noticed, they go, oh, and then you like deftly just sort of like swoop in, catch the tray, the glasses on top, shakes just a little bit, but stay in place. And you just kind of, and there's like a smattering of applause around you. Well done, nicely done. You see Vanessa goes like beet red. She's like, Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I'll take that from you.
Yeah, no problem. Do you mind real quick before you continue on with what you're doing if I ask you a quick question?
Yeah. Let me set these down real quick. And she just kind of takes them over to another table and gets the drinks over to everyone. Takes the platter back up. Yeah, what do you need help with?
Yeah, so we noticed that our friend Dak was missing. And we were told that he apparently walked off with a woman a bit taller than him, pinkish, purplish skin. I just wanted to know if you had seen anything or if that strikes a chord with you.
That? No, actually, I hadn't. You said it was one of your friends? The
eye patch one, yes.
Oh yeah, he looked really sad in general. I don't know if he was actually sad. He just kind of.
He has resting sad face. It's fine.
Look, oh, sorry to hear that. I didn't really see a woman of your description at all, though. I did see him. He was kind of hanging out by the fireplace there. I was in between orders, but I saw him like. It looked like he was like looking at something next to the fireplace, like on the ground.
Okay.
But I didn't really have time to like hang around and see what he was doing.
Okay, interesting. That's also where Barnabas said he caught a glimpse of the woman that I was describing. So perhaps there's something over there.
Now that I think about it, I really hope there wasn't like some broken glass there or something.
Well,
I should get a broom.
I'll take a look at it for you, and if there's anything that needs to be cleaning up, I'll assist with that as well. So
thank you. I really appreciate it.
Don't worry about it, and you can get back to what you were doing.
God, you're too sweet. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get going to this next table. And she just kind of takes off.
And I will immediately head over to the fireplace then. And
okay. At the fireplace, the pseudo dragon that you saw before is just sort of like curled up in a ball, sleeping in front of the fireplace there. There is all sorts of like various trinkets and trophies along the top of the mantle of the fireplace up above. Make another perception check for me.
That would be a 6.
Okay. You look at these sort of trinkets along the top. You don't really see anything outside of the fact that like a lot of them are like coated in a layer of dust, like they haven't been dusted recently. But you're not seeing anything. So you look over on the right side of the fireplace, and you do notice a little something is on the ground.
Interesting. I'll get down and take a closer look at it.
It's like a little brass piece of something that's been like broken off of a larger object. It has no like defined shape that would like be telling to it, but it's like solid brass, and you can see where it was like it like snapped off at one point.
I'll pick it up and I'll compare it to like the trinkets and stuff that are on the mantle.
Okay. Make. We'll say this is an investigation check.
Oh, that's a nat 20. Natural 20 for a 26 total.
Wow. Okay.
Holy.
Cool. That's insane. All right. You do notice.
I'll fail when it's my turn.
You do notice that there is a trophy that is sitting up on the mantle closer to the right hand side, but the others were like, the other trinkets were like dusty. They had a layer of dust on them. This little trophy that's sitting up there doesn't appear to be as dusty, and it looks like it's been shifted slightly. Like it's not like centered. It's not like straight forward. It's sitting at like a weird angle and kind of like off the mantle a little bit, like it was hastily placed back up there.
I'll go ahead and pick it up and try and like kind of compare the thing with it, and also just look at what the trophy is.
You can see now that like the little piece that you found was almost like a little brass handle that would have been on the side that had snapped away. The trophy itself is a small trophy. It's just like 4 or 5 inches tall. And there's a very small little plaque on it with an inscription. And the inscription reads 995 the Passage Grand Championship Arm Wrestling first prize.
Does it have Milo's name on it or anyone's name?
It does not. There is no name on it.
Interesting. I'll kind of dust it off a bit, look at where it was sitting, see if there's like a skid mark in the dust, because I would imagine there would be dust on the top of the mantle as well if the rest of the trophies are dirty.
But there's like this little spot where there is no dust. Like you can see the square where like the trophy would have been sitting, and then a little bit coming off the edge too.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, oh, looks like Dak must have just accidentally knocked this off the mantle. I would imagine. I don't see anything otherwise interesting about this, and I'll just place it back up there like in a actually properly instead of like askew, and just place the little brass bit next to it.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to do?
Not particularly. It doesn't seem like there's if there's, I'll take a second look at the area on the floor around there where Dak was seen, but if that was all that was there, then it seems that's where the trail ends.
Make one more perception check for me in the area.
21.
There we go. On the side of the fireplace, you almost miss it. You're saved by the fact that you decided to just do one more sweep back over. The tiniest, faintest little trickle of something red on the side. A small splatter of what looks like blood, already on the verge of drying out completely.
Interesting. I'll kind of take a closer look and just go to like kind of just like touch it a little bit, see that it's dried, and does it seem like it was a splatter, or if it was someone like directly contacted it with blood?
It has a slight trail to it from above.
Okay.
So like as if it hit the side of the fireplace and then dripped down a little bit before beginning to dry out.
I'll look around for any other signs of blood in the area, just because one drip typically isn't, if it's hitting that, it's going to be maybe one or two more in the area at the very least. But take a quick look at it. Does like my training and just overall familiarity with the way that blood works tell me like anything about this?
You can make me another investigation check. I'll give you advantage on this due to your previous training, but you're trying to beat a 21 on this.
This is investigation. No.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of take a look around. You examine a few of the other walls, a few of the other areas, but you're not able to spot any other traces of blood.
Interesting. Okay, that's slightly disconcerting. I'll make sure to note that and bring it up to the rest of the group.
Speaking of, Silva.
Is muted.
Yes.
Is muted. There we go. What would you like to do?
Yes, I'm taking the aerial route. So I'm looking for, the long edges, kind of flying up, get a good bird's eye view of the area, try to spot if maybe like, especially like if like, like I see him leaving down the coast, going towards into a forest.
Mm. Make a go ahead and make a perception check for me.
The 16.
Ooh. Looking out, you can see where the sort of the marketplace begins, stretches out, heading down towards the western ward. You can see this sort of like islet that the inn is positioned on means that there's almost like docks on all sides. There's certainly water on most of the sides. The only real like path of land that they could have taken, if they traveled by land, would be to cut through the marketplace. It's the only real source. Everything else around you is water. So the question then would be, is there any signs that maybe somebody had taken a boat from one of the nearby docks? And looking, you can see that there are a multitude of docks, right within reach. But a fair few of them have boats that are tied up. And from your position up above, you can't really make out if there's any like loose rigging or anything that would indicate that a boat had been there previously, but had now been untied from the shore and had been taken.
Well, my initial reaction too is going to be, this appears very potential, like, Fey creature. So boat would be weird. So the thing is going to definitely be like flying over, down, and looking past farther down the city escape area, down past the market.
So you want to just kind of focus in on that area, kind of going past the market there?
Yeah, like continuing down, trying to see as far down, maybe to edges of the city and whatnot that I can.
Okay. Make another perception check for me.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh man,
here we go.
Yeah.
I told you I would reap. I told you I would reap the failures. Everyone else had their nat 20s. I have my nat 1.
All right, let me get this situated here.
I've come close. I rolled a 2, a 3, and a 4.
I have to pull up your character sheet here.
Menacing.
Menacing. I need you to roll a d12 for me, if you don't mind.
Oh, good. 5.
Okay. As you are, how do you normally keep your spell book on your person?
It would just be like, it would have like a ring on its spine, and then it's like wrapped around my and then it's like clipped essentially to a belt loop.
Okay. As you're kind of floating, looking out, you're trying to focus on like the farther reaches of the city, and you suddenly feel a jolt around your waist, like around your midsection. And you look down in surprise, and you see as a seagull swoops in out of nowhere and just like grabs onto your spell book and begins trying to pull it, yank it away from you.
Let's smack that seagull.
All right, roll for attack against the seagull.
I don't get to
armor class at 25.
I don't get to hit my thing. Because I need that. It's an 18 to hit.
18 to hit. All right.
Okay, let me roll damage.
Yeah, that absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, there you go. I know I did it. See the
seagull.
joke. The joke for you viewers out there that may not know. Unarmed strike is flat damage.
Yeah. A flat 2.
Wait, yeah, for me it's 2.
Yeah, so you just smack this seagull, and it screeches at you, its mouth currently full of spellbook, as it is like frantically flapping, trying to get disentangled from you and figuring out what's going on.
It's rat.
Pure panic in its eyes.
Rat bird.
Well, so now it's stuck in it?
It's like it's trying to figure out what's going on because it's doing the dog thing of like it doesn't want to let go of the thing in its mouth, but it is also trying to get away from you at the same time. And the brain is the neurons are trying to snap together to be like, if you let go of the book, then you can get away from the thing attacking you. But it's failing so far,
like
because it's a seagull. Yes.
Developer's better.
The seagull is going to make an attack of its own. 5. Okay, so the seagull, it's like frantically it's flapping, but at the same time trying to hold on to the book. You see that its eye like makes contact with you. The eye grows red, and a small like laser, like a beam of light, shoots out from its eye and aims towards you.
Nani?
That is going to be a 19 to hit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it'll hit.
Okay.
I can't wait to fall out of the sky. I can't wait
You take 4 points of damage as this like beam of light, just like precision bomb, gets you right in the shoulder blade. And you just feel like a searing pain go through your arm. And you almost fall out of the sky completely. 4 points of damage. The seagull breaks away. As it does, it unclips the ring from around your waist, and the spell book comes free in its mouth, and it begins just flying away with your spell book in tow.
Well, that ain't happening. I'm casting chill touch on that seagull.
All right.
That seagull can go. Fuck.
I was just trying to slap it
It's
away
just like
before.
real
Now
life.
it's personal. Yeah, now it's personal.
It's like real life when you encounter a seagull.
All right, does a 12 hit the seagull?
Yes, it does.
Okay. It takes 11 necrotic damage.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You disintegrate this seagull in real time. You watch as the seagull reverts back to a pre-evolutionary form and just sort of turns into ash and scatters to the wind as your spell book begins to just fall. It is in pure free fall, heading down towards the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I'll, in a somewhat hurriedly manner, go chase after it. I'm not going to catch
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw to try and catch it.
I wasn't. I specifically said I wasn't going to try to catch it.
Oh, okay.
I was going to let it fall, and then, like, unless I see, like, oh my god, it's about to fall into that bonfire.
So there's the annual passage. There is, you see below that the annual, when you give me things, I use them. Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's how it works in this household. You see that down
both
below,
the fish jamboree and the bonfire festival.
Down
where
below,
Sir
there
Skrillex is playing his bardic tunes.
There is no Sir Skrillex.
Well, then what kind of bonfire
it's
festival
Sir Da
would it
Vinci,
be?
thank you very much.
Well, then what kind of bonfire fest would it be if there was no Sir Skrillex?
Anyways.
Did he make bonfire?
I don't even remember at this point. His last 2 albums were pretty good. So the spellbook is falling.
Oh, that was by night.
Down below, you see one of the young boys that was at the competition and his father. They appear to be heading home. The young boy looks up and he points in the sky towards the spellbook. And he shouts out, "Father, what is that?" And as the father looks up, you see the fear in his eyes as this giant spellbook is like a meteor, just like crashing down towards them at an incredible speed.
So seeing that, I mean, I'll chase. I'll still chase after it, but I'll shout like, "Get out of the
way!"
The father heroically grabs his son and tosses him to the side, and it's all playing out in like slow motion. It feels like everything is slow, and he just sort of tosses his son over to the side, and then just turns back. As the book is falling towards them, you see a tear form in his eye. As the book is now seconds away from colliding with him, life is just flashing before his eyes. All these memories, all these moments that he got to experience. It was a good life.
How much do you think this book weighs?
Are we gonna find out?
Enough.
Do you attempt to catch the book, or are you just going to let it fall?
Well, I think it's past me at this point.
Is it? I don't know. You could,
There's the speed of falling. Well, the speed.
You can do
I still have a specific flying speed, and there's a specific falling speed, and that falling speed is generally faster than my flying speed.
Okay, but physics be damned, you're a fake creature.
This is a D&D game.
I want you to believe in yourself. It's your call. It's your choice which one to do.
This fucking dad is an idiot is what he is. I just wanted to let the book fall.
You can if you want to.
No, he's fucking pulling the he's pulling the fucking what movie was it? I
don't know, there's a lot of them that have done this trope.
He's pulling a fucking Prometheus. Oh no, the thing is coming towards me. God forbid I move to the side.
Yeah, Newbie Rapace could have just ran to the side instead of running forward. I was thinking of Kevin Costner in Man of Steel, where he's tells Clark, he just won't say it.
No, son.
And he could at any time he could have just ran away and been fine.
Great movie.
No, son. I must be killed by this tornado.
So good.
Please.
Peak cinema. Oh man, peak cinema. The book falls through the air. It is continuing to accelerate. It is seconds away from reaching this man.
Oh fuck! Fine. Okay, I'm gonna make the sprint fly to try to grab the book.
All right, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
14.
Okay. The book is rapidly approaching, and as if by miracle, a hand reaches out from off screen and grabs it as you swoop in and take it and arch back up into the sky. The force almost knocks the man back off of his feet. As he looks, his son, a few feet away, on his knees, eyes in shock, mouth agape, as you soar back up, spellbook in hand once again.
Sorry about that.
Saved.
Seagull took it. Then dropped it.
What? I can't hear you.
I'm next to him.
You've swooped back up into the air.
Oh. Do that again. Sorry. Sorry about that. Eagle took it.
You
dropped it.
You saved me. That book would have killed me for sure.
From your own stupidity, yes.
Looking at my book, which is like, kind of a standard sized book.
Oh yeah. Can't be more than 5 pounds.
Yeah. The above board description of that. To be fair, some wizard books are like a Bible, but
sure,
not one of them.
Right.
As I am not master wizard.
Correct.
Nor will I be. That's my choice. So yeah, no, it's like I just kind of look at it. I think you would have been fine, but you're welcome anyway.
He just sort of tips his cap to you, runs over, grabs his son, picks him up, hugs him tight. He goes, let's you and me get home before anything else dangerous happens. He just kind of takes his son along with him. They run to the south.
As you watch them walk away, a different book comes down.
A tornado appears and just like picks them up.
He just gets split apart like that dude in Mars.
Tarrasque appears.
That one's your real obscure movie reference of the day. Mission.
Oh man, Dylan. Speaking of a Tarrasque, I have to bring this up because you mentioned it. There was a TikTok that I saw that was going through awful homebrew D&D like magical items, and it was this wild ass weapon that when you hit with it, you deal 100 D100 necrotic damage, and you summon a Tarrasque.
That's so dumb.
My God.
It's like,
what a waste of time.
Why? Why would you even do that?
There's no practical use for that.
No.
Not at all.
Which is why I would use it.
I was gonna say, or it would have to be like something you give with them not knowing what it does.
It also doesn't say it summons the Tarrasque as an ally.
Well, no.
You're right, and I definitely assumed that. Yeah. Yeah. When I think Tarrasque, I think Buddy.
Buddy.
Silva. Now that you have recovered your spell book, is there something else you'd like to do here?
Well, despite the distraction, I guess I'll still need to head towards that. Oh no. I'll still try to head towards that edge of town and see if I can see anything, despite the time loss that I've suffered.
You can certainly do so. You kind of fly off towards the edge of the town there. If you want to make another perception check for me.
17 right here.
Nice. You're now heading down towards the western ward. This is kind of where you had come up through originally when you first entered the city, and you kind of came up this way to then get to the inn. So there's just like this huge smattering of buildings, a bunch of city streets, a bunch of alleyways. And of course, there's just kind of like this coastal line of Lake Galifar all along the side. You can see that there's like an assortment of boats and ships that are traveling Lake Galifar. Many of them are now heading back to the docks, or are otherwise heading off into the distance, assumedly to return home or to finish up with their day's work. You do see that there's like a smattering of people down in the western ward that are sort of wrapping things up for the evening, or they're getting ready for the evening's festivities, like going into like bars, taverns, things of that sort. So there's still a fair amount of like activity going around, but you're not seeing anybody that matches the description that you were given of the person that seemed to be accompanying Dak, nor do you see anybody that looks like Dak themselves.
Damn it. Well, the others gathered and heading back towards the inn.
As you head back, you do catch, you're kind of like caught a bit off guard for a moment as a small, almost like a schooner, rushes past you in the air, an airship. And you can now see, you now notice your attention has been focused to the south, but you now see that in sort of the center of this sort of coastal region here of the lake, there is this center point. There are these three large bridges that all connect to this like landmass that's surrounded on all sides by water. And in the middle of that landmass, there is like an enormous station. It almost looks like a train station, save for the fact that instead of any kind of train tracks, there are these large stretches of like rectangular stone, like sheets of stone that are laid out and imbued with like this arcane energy. And you can see that there are multiple airships taking off and landing on these like strips of arcane stone that have been laid out around the station itself.
Well,
where once before the possibilities were that Dak had gone by land or by sea, it occurs to you that there is now the possibility that he may have absconded by air as well. And you may need to look into that further too.
I mean, so you said it seems how far away?
It's tough. I'm trying to describe this without you guys having the map yet. But it is
because it's like well out of, is it out of the city of Passage or is it?
No, it's within the city. If you think of this airship station you're seeing, if you think of that as kind of being in the middle, and then there is this like sort of like almost like a river, like a tributary of water that goes around it and surrounds it completely, and then the city itself sort of encircles around that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. So the chances of them. I'll have to get everybody to head in that direction and try to look at it. So I'll still head back towards the inn.
Okay. So you are now heading back towards the inn. Johannes was heading back towards the inn as well. Set, you were already at the inn. Silva, you arrive back at the inn. Because of your flight speed, you arrive back quicker than Johannes does. And you find yourself back inside. Still a fair amount of people in there, still pretty bustling. Quite a few people in and out.
Well, do I see where Set is?
Yeah, you immediately pick up on them. They're kind of off in the corner a bit near where the fireplace is situated.
All right. Well, Set. Get up to them.
Oh,
All right, Set. You learn anything while you're here?
Yes and no. I think I definitely didn't have any questions answered, if that's what you're looking for. But I did notice this. Ness had said that Dak had been over here crouching down by the fireplace looking at something on the floor. What I imagine is that he probably bumped into this trophy and knocked it off and it got broken. But also I did find like a little like trail of blood. I don't know if that's related or what's going on, but that's about all the information that I got.
What's the trophy look like?
It is a very small trophy, about 5 or 6 inches tall. Solid brass, a bit of a conical shape to it. And you can see, as Set was able to, that there was supposed to be like a little handle on the side of it that has just snapped off completely. And then it's got like a little engraved plate at like the base of it.
What does the engraving say?
995, the Passage Grand Championship Arm Wrestling first prize.
Oh dear. Dak. I don't think somehow this man had a fake creature in the trophy by breaking it. Dak has released it.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. Kinda.
I mean, you would be able to tell if there was magic on this, right? You're able to do that?
Oh, that's they essentially in a way, like an actual powerful prey being it's a vessel. So the vessel itself didn't have magic, right? Probably would detect something when it was in it.
Gotcha. But that would have just been the inherent magic of the creature, not
right. As much as I would love to ask him about it, once Johannes gets here, we should go. There's an airship port in this, and unfortunately, that means that's an option that they could be leaving out for.
I'm gonna almost as if on cue. I'm gonna head back in. Anyone find anything?
I don't think they left by sea or land because I don't know. I mean, there's the chance that they left by the sea, but feels like the most sensible place for them to exited from would have been by the market stalls.
That seems to make sense. I spoke with a gem salesman outside the inn who reportedly had seen Dak and this woman. It seemed like they were heading south. That's all they really caught, though. So that could be towards the markets. It could be. It didn't seem like they went to the boats, but it did seem towards like they're heading more towards the center of town.
And that's the unfortunate part is I think they are heading towards boats, just kind.
Yeah.
There's an airship station in the center of town.
It definitely seems like this is something that we'll have to continue looking into tomorrow morning when we are able to get out, and we'll ask around. I'm sure the airship dock has like guards or ticket people or something that we can ask some questions, but it's probably getting too late to
That's the tough part, though. It's a lot easier to forget when it gets to tomorrow morning.
I know.
I'm really planning to pick a fight with anyone while we're there. So I mean,
how late is it right now? Is it like it's not like crazy late, is it?
It's getting further into the evening, closer to like 8:30 p.m.
Oh, we can still go out to the markets.
Yeah, I mean, Well, we're not going to the markets. We'd be going to the station.
Yeah, sure.
My concern is
direction,
those stations see a large number of people per day, and I get it. A large pink woman is inherently a less forgettable thing,
But they
but
could be far. They could be, if they really are going to the station trying to get somewhere else. They could be long gone by the time we go there tomorrow morning.
I agree.
Before we head out, I want to check something real quick. Silva, what you said with me kind of stuck, and I'll take the trophy and just sit down with it and try and like channel my my medium ability to kind of try and pick up on anything
Interesting.
along the lines of what Silva had mentioned.
Yeah, go ahead and make a medium check.
Is a 21.
Wow. You focus on this item, this trophy, and the thing you get from it, it's odd. It doesn't appear to be that it was inhabited by any sort of a spirit or a wandering soul. But there are traces of a mental connection, and it's familiar to you, like a scent that causes you to recollect a childhood memory. It's this very distinct tinge to it. Traces of psychic magic and a mental connection made by Dak. You feel more confident than ever. You're not entirely certain what that means, but you're more confident than before that Dak in some way interacted with this item.
I'll open up my eyes to kind of look up. Dak definitely was the one that interacted with this. That's about all I can tell, though. I'm not picking up any vibes of it being a vessel specifically or anything like that, but it was definitely handled by Dak. We should get a move on. We should also keep an eye out. He might be injured, so that might also be something that we can keep an eye out for. I'll set it back up where it was, and all right, lead the way. Let's head to this station.
All right.
Okay.
As you're placing the trophy back up on the mantle, you hear a voice behind you say, "Oh, were you wanting to look at that too?" You turn and look, and you see Alice, the orc bartender. Your friend was asking about the trophy as well, actually.
Yeah, that's actually Ness told me about that. And that's what prompted me to come over here because we're looking for him. We don't know where he went. All we know is that he wandered off with a tall pink lady.
Oh yeah. Well, he asked me about the trophy initially. He approached me. I was by the bar. He asked me who the trophy belonged to, and I told him that it was me. I had actually won it. And he said that. Thank you. He said that he had met another woman who was very strong, and he was wondering if he could show it to her, which I thought was curious. But I said, well, it's there on the mantle. If you wanted to show it to her, absolutely. I saw him just kind of head off towards the mantle, and he picked up the trophy and he showed it. There was like a woman there with like violet hair was tied back in a huge ponytail, and she did have very impressive biceps, if I must say. And they were just kind of like commiserating over it, but I don't know what the actual conversation was about. I kind of lost sight of them after that, I'm afraid.
When you were looking at her great biceps, were they pink?
Yeah, she had kind of like a pinkish skin tone, actually. You don't see it too often around here. Last time I saw it, it was someone from the off continents, like a Kalashtar or something of that sort.
Interesting.
But I mean, you don't hardly ever see anyone like that come this far inland, especially now after the war.
Your information was very helpful. If you somehow get an eye on either of them, if you could let us know, that would be great. We're gonna go doing a little more digging, see if we can figure out where they went, but we appreciate it.
Understood. There is you be careful not to stay out too late. You know there is a curfew, correct?
Oh, what's the curfew?
Curfew would be Ness, is it? They haven't changed it, right? It's still 9:30. And Vanessa looks up and says, "Yes, 9:30 on the curfew. They haven't shown any signs of lifting it. It's a bit of a pain, to be honest, but I mean, considering the circumstances, I get it."
Why is there a curfew?
The two of them kind of share a bit of a look. If any of you want to make an insight check, you can.
Yeah.
18.
Oh, they rolled a 1. Why not another one?
Oh my god.
I also rolled a natural 1.
Oh my god.
I didn't this time. It's just
Okay, I did.
I cast Meteor and blow up the inn. Okay.
I was saying that preemptively, but
sure. All right, what did you get, Bennett?
57.
57.
Unreal.
A seagull comes in and tries to steal your spice pouch.
Oh my god, that's such a great idea. So good. Bennett.
Yeah.
Johannes, you feel a bit of like a shifting and a bit of an uneasiness. Like, oh man, maybe I'm getting something like a bit of a tummy ache coming on. And then you just go. And you turn back into a platypus.
What? Milo! I start storming back over.
Have you done this to me?
Alice and Vanessa are kind of sharing a look, and for the other two of you, there's definitely like an invisible conversation, silent conversation going on between the two of them. Like they're clearly sort of like reading each other as far as like, should we tell them? Do they know what they think? Alice turns back to the two of you. I suppose you are out of towners and you might not be aware.
Correct.
Have you not been told anything about what's been happening lately?
No, we've been in less than a day.
You're gonna have to be more specific than that. I mean, we came here with news of, and Set will like be a little more hushed about it.
We also showed up, and a duel for cooking was immediately engaged in. So you could say those pleasantries weren't really given to us.
You all see around you as the lights sort of dim. The candlelight grows dimmer. The room itself almost seems to kind of darken just a smidge. Milo Marigold suddenly appears between Set and Silva, just kind of pops up. Yes, it would be wise. It would be wise. You know it. It would be wise to not break curfew.
Did we like sense him coming at all? Did we hear him?
No.
Did he catch us completely off guard?
No. Normally you would be able to detect if somebody was like trying to sneak up on you. But whatever this is, no.
That means that as soon as he starts speaking, he immediately has a dagger to his throat.
Are you trying to actually attack him with the dagger, or are you just threateningly holding it?
It is a instinctual reaction for someone sneaking up on set without them being aware at all.
It would be very dangerous for you to go. Hello. It would be very dangerous for you to go out past curfew.
Why? Why do it this way?
I will tell you, but there was currently a blade to my throat.
Before we get into this, and before I remove this blade, please do not do that again, or the blade might go a little farther next time.
Which part? I tend to do a lot of things at the same time.
Do not sneak up on me.
Oh, right, that part. Okay.
Thank you.
I promise.
I'll put it away.
Sorry. I arrived instantaneously to provide a quick aid to your friend who has turned back into a platypus, but also because the story demanded it. I was just going to tell you, you do not want to go out past curfew because of them. There are people who live outside of the city limits, and they do not like us very much. And sometimes they attack at night. The city has implemented a curfew to keep the citizens safe until they can figure out how to keep these nighttime raids, whatever they are, from happening. It's for your safety.
What's so dangerous about these people?
Milo looks to Alice, who looks at Vanessa, who looks at Alice, who looks at Milo, who looks at Vanessa, who looks at Milo, looks at Alice. They're just like sharing looks with each other.
Okay. Either tell us or don't we, if we want to get back before curfew, we need to leave.
That is very true. Can I please fix your friend first before you go?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, he needs to be returned to his form before we leave, but
good.
Like whapping my tail on the ground.
He presents you, Johannes, he presents you two like tiny little vials. One of them is like a bluish, brackish substance, and the other one is like a shocking green.
Do not tell me you're going to make me choose again.
No, you're supposed to drink both of these, one after the other, quick succession.
Thank God. Okay, I'm going to down on both.
One of them is an extract that will revert you back to your normal form. The other is Surge, which is no longer available on the market.
Oh, the second one. It's
to help with the bitter aftertaste of the actual.
As I poof back into the normal forms, that taste. You said it's not available anymore? What a crime.
Indeed.
I feel electrified.
You can blame the war for that.
Okay.
Well, then, now that silliness is out of the way, yes, if you wish to do anything else before the night is out, you'd best be going quickly.
And remember, how much exact time exactly do we have before the curfew?
You've got about an hour.
An hour.
And we have beds ready and waiting for you for your return. So just be sure to be back before 9:30.
All right. Well, since you aren't going to be sharing any more information about why these people are dangerous, we'll just ensure that we're back before curfew, I guess.
You'll know if you see them, and it will be the last thing you ever see.
Okay, the vagueness here is.
I feel like you're putting us in more danger.
Like, are they werewolves?
Let's just get out of here. We have limited time.
And Set will just like huff and walk out the door.
Your friend is right. If only they knew how right they were. And he just kind of looks off into the middle distance.
We're right here.
Vanessa's like,
I've had enough of this.
Vanessa's like, I'm truly deeply sorry that he does this.
How do you handle?
We can explain more once you get back. I promise.
Okay, I'm gonna head out.
Just make it quick.
All right, you head out into the streets. You notice right away that there are guardsmen that are sort of beginning patrols on the streets. They're not like actively hostile, crazy, I know, but they're just sort of like beginning patrols in like groups of two, and a couple of them are kind of like approaching assorted townsfolk and just letting them know, like, just a reminder, curfew starts in an hour. Be sure to get to your homes, get there safe. If you see anything suspicious or out of the ordinary, report it to us. And then just kind of continuing on their way. Still a decent amount of people, but they're beginning to kind of trickle out. You know, you're beginning to see a little bit of less and less. The market ahead of you, most of the major or some of the smaller like tents or like canopy setups have been packed away. There's a few like really large establishments that are like partially packed up, but you can tell that they don't like pack up fully because they're probably just going to be returning right back to that same place the following morning. But yeah, you're definitely seeing that the traffic is sort of dying down a little bit as a moon is slowly becoming more and more visible up in the night sky.
Make this quick.
Yeah, I suppose we should head south towards the station.
Yeah, let's get a move on.
All right. Let's zoom.
Yeah.
All right.
Not outright running, but definitely like
Hustling.
It's fair.
going.
Yeah.
Running would induce a sense of panic and draw the guards' attention.
Yes, 100%. You begin to move quickly. You're not familiar with these streets, so I am going to have to ask. I need you to elect someone to make a, let's call this a general intelligence check. I need you to elect somebody to make an intelligence check.
Anybody qualify themselves as a street urchin?
Well, maybe a street
Riffraff.
urchin, but I'm quite stupid. So
Street urchin part was code for backgrounds.
Nope.
I would say,
but I mean, Silva, it's between you and me. I have a fairly
intelligence
high
part.
modifier.
For sure. It was just if somebody had the urchin background, it would mean we necessarily wouldn't have to worry about this part.
I mean, I got criminal.
That's not helpful.
Unfortunately, it sounds like you need the help of Urchino, the local street urchin, but he won't be introduced for like several episodes from now.
Damn.
Make sure to stock up on freshly baked sourdough.
Yes. He makes a killer sourdough.
All right. Not me.
Is it just intelligence?
It's just an intelligence roll. Yep.
All right. I mean, probably me then, right? Or are we the same?
I have a +3.
Okay. All right. How do you feel your roll luck is about to run out, and mine's about to get better, or we want to stick with the hot hand?
Oh man. You know, you
I'm
say
due for a
that,
good
and I
roll. You're
immediately
due for a
go,
bad roll,
I am
Yeah.
due for a bad roll. So let's go ahead and have you do it.
All right, I'm due for the good roll. Let this be it.
Well,
That's
could be worse.
It's okay. Mine would have been worse.
Glad you did it anyway, just to be sure. Just to see where
So
we
that
would
was-
have stood.
Said that was a
That's a
10.
Yeah, it's a 10.
Okay. You all are sort of weaving through these different alleyways and streets, trying to find your way. You said you're trying to head straight for the airship station.
Yeah.
You are trying to generally keep so that you can kind of head eastward, but you do unfortunately run into a dead end at one point in between two buildings. You kind of come back around, you make a turn. A few blocks further down, you hit another dead end, and you find yourselves very quickly becoming lost in just the sheer amount of buildings that are here.
All right, I'm gonna quickly fly up, get a small view, try to get a route planned, and then get us going.
You fly up into the air. You shoot up into the air. You can see that you need to head. You need to make another turn, and you need to head off this way. There is on kind of the northeastern side of this ward, there is a point where the buildings kind of break away, and there is a large bridge, very large, like it's like 2 or 3 carriages wide, that leads over into this sort of central island in the middle of the city where the airship station appears to be. You do also notice that at the other end of the bridge on the island, there is an enormous gate, and it does appear to be closed.
Damn. Station's closed.
It's already closed?
Well, if they're establishing a curfew, I imagine they're not trying to promote people to go in last minute.
I suppose. Maybe we can still go in the area and see if anyone had seen anything. They could have at least seen like a train that they got on.
We can ask a guard maybe at the bridge, but I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't venture too far on the bridge. It's just gonna waste time.
Sorry, what's happening to the bridge?
Huh?
What's happening to the bridge?
The station's closed. Giant gate down.
Well, that'll do it. It's
we can hang out on the bridge, but as I say, if we hang out for too long on that bridge, we might have a gamer moment, so we should probably leave.
Gamer moment.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and head back to the inn and
Johannes' suggestion was to maybe if there's like a guard nearby us or like right at the bridge or something, because we're there anyway. Just see if they ask if they saw someone quickly, and then otherwise, head back.
Yeah, that shouldn't take very long. Let's go ahead and do that.
Hopefully it doesn't take long to despite some of the other people you talk to, hopefully it doesn't take long to be like, did you see a tall pink woman?
You see them.
It wouldn't take too long for you to find a guard and approach them. You see 2 guardsmen nearby where the bridge is located, and you can approach them pretty quickly.
Did you see a 5'9" man and his muscle mommy?
Whoa.
No, I do not actually ask that question, damn it.
What if you did?
Ruin my fun, why don't you?
Yes, excuse me. We're looking for our friends. Have you perchance seen a taller woman, violet hair, pink skin, and a shorter guy, eye patch, kind of
darker skin,
generally dirty?
I'm not familiar with that description myself. How long ago would they have passed through here?
Potentially maybe
a couple hours.
Within the last couple hours?
Do they know that they need to be back inside before the end of curfew?
Well, the concern we have is that they may have gone an airship without us, so that's...
Oh, well, the airship station is actually closed for the evening. The last airship that went out would have been at about 7:30 p.m. or so.
That was why we were trying to ask if you had seen them, because at least if we knew, if you had at least seen them, then yeah, we would.
I'm afraid
with information for tomorrow, but yeah.
I'm afraid I hadn't, and I apologize. But for what it's worth, any of the airships coming in and out of the station are going to have a ledger with a full list of names of all who are boarding them. So if they decided to take an airship out, more than likely, then the station manager is going to have their names on a list attached to one of the ships, which would then tell you where they were heading.
Can we go speak with the manager, or
I'm afraid
tomorrow.
I'm afraid they're all closed up for the evening, but you are more than welcome to return in the morning. Yes.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, in terms of, I was about to accidentally make a pun and I caught myself.
Do it. Free your mind.
So I was gonna say, no, and I was gonna say, it kind of looks like we understand that the concept of talking to anyone else tonight relating to airship stuff that sailed.
Get it?
If we know we can go to them tomorrow, then we'll do that.
Yeah. While we have you, we're new to the area. What is the reason for this curfew?
Yes. Well, you'll want to get inside quickly. We have had numerous instances of assailants approaching from the north. It's nothing to be afraid of as long as you stay inside. There have not been any casualties in quite a while. They tend to enter the city at night. They destroy property. They generally destroy things, make a mess of things, and then leave within the hour. Just sort of like a concentrated strike on the city itself. We're still trying to figure out exactly where they're entering in the city from. But it's been difficult. They're incredibly swift with their movements.
So just to clarify, are these just bandits, or is there something special about them?
No, they're using magic.
Okay, great.
Sounds like a political nightmare.
Hurry back to where we're staying then. Thank you.
Yeah, we should get out of here. Thank you for your help.
Yes, of course.
I guess to re-guide us back.
I suppose we'll just have to come back here tomorrow.
All right, you all power walk back to the inn. It's about 9:15 by the time you get there.
Oh, good.
You arrive just as Alice is kind of closing like the main doors. She says, "Oh, we have your beds and everything ready. Come on in. As you all go in, she closes the doors, and then it's these huge double doors at the front of the inn, and then she takes a timber, like a 2x12, and just like slides it into these large L catches on either side of the doorway, just creating this like bar, keeping the door closed in. There we go.
This is a big deal, huh?
Yes, very much so. You see Milo appear around the corner. He has a couple mugs in his hands, and you also see Thomas Winleaf with him. Also has a few mugs on the platter. Thomas says, "We made hot chocolate for everyone. I was told by Milo that was the protocol for situations like this. And I'm choosing to just kind of go along with that for now."
Ooh,
it's part of the curfew.
Of flying over.
Milo sets down a few of the mugs, and he reaches into his robes and pulls out like an assortment of fuzzy slippers. And he's like, "These are also part of the protocol."
Fuzzy slippers and hot chocolate.
What is the
government mandated?
No, this is just something that I offer. It's free. It's just complimentary as part of your stay.
Ah,
yes.
Okay. So you were gonna explain more about what's going on with these incursions?
Yes, absolutely. Please slide into your fuzzy slippers and grab yourself a cup of hot chocolate and meet me at the large table over here.
Okay.
I'll look at Thomas real quick and be like, "You were there for the entire time when these hot chocolates were made, correct?"
Well, I helped make them, actually. Yeah.
And he didn't put anything weird in them.
No. But he stared at me the entire time.
Okay, I mean,
deeply uncomfortable.
That sounds like Milo.
I'll slide over though next to Thomas. Be like, "Okay, but what if we did?"
What if we what?
Hold on, I need a good region to make this reference. But first, hold on. Let me think. I got to think of like what fits the. Who would fit this concept best? Who'd be Irish? Who'd be the most Irish? What would be the most Irish section of Corvair?
of the continent as a whole?
Yeah.
You know, it'd probably be most Irish.
I don't really know.
Damn, I mean, there's parts of Zalargo that would kind of meet it.
Like Under is unequivocally French. Trust me, when you go there, you'll understand.
I mean, honestly, there's Fairhaven. It's your call as far as how much time you've actually ever spent in Fairhaven. Fairhaven has, for anyone who is aware, Fairhaven is this enormous town. I'm trying to think how best to describe this. Because yeah, this would definitely be the way to go about it.
Well, I just gotta more specifically, let's look at it in this way: in that, if you had to think about the stereotype that Ireland has, what country would hit? What country's people would also have that stereotype?
It would be Fairhaven, because Fairhaven has I'm just like blanking on the name of it right now, but it's an extremely prestigious university. And then the area surrounding this like enormous university with like these towering, like these enormous castles that tower up into the sky, literally floating in the sky. The surrounding town is very much this like older Celtic style, like cottagey town. In like the surrounding landscape, and a lot of the people there would definitely sort of have that more like Irish Celtic type of lifestyle to them, and the personality that goes with it.
Yes. Then the point would go into the. Well, remember, people would always order. You know, when we would be at the bar, they would always order. In the morning, they would get a Fairhaven coffee. Could we do that? What?
Right. Fairhaven coffee. Yeah. I don't know if they can handle that.
Well, what about me and you?
You and I could definitely handle that.
Yeah. That's not good.
I mean, you're already flying to begin with, so.
Okay. Hot chocolate is safe-ish. Set will go sit over at that large table and.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go with the flow and
sipping.
Put on my fuzzy slippers.
Let's get to the bar quick.
Okay. As each of you put on the fuzzy slippers, they do grant you +1 AC.
Cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And you all take your seats. There's like this large wooden circular table that you're all seated at. It is the three of you, Alice, Vanessa, and Milo. And then there's like a little like a high seat, like a high chair for a baby. And the little pseudo dragon is like curled up in the little high chair.
That's cute.
I thought it was going to be for Johannes.
I thought so too.
I also thought it was going to be for Johannes.
I was about to like cut Milo's throat, but
only Johannes's hot chocolate has the platypus potion.
I would be yeah.
No. Nothing demeaning like that. So the pseudo dragon is kind of
again.
Yeah.
He'd be dead.
The pseudo dragon's kind of curled up in the little high chair, and he's got little like booties on like his front and back paws. Everyone has their hot chocolate. Milo says, "Would anyone like marshmallows?"
Yes.
Well, obviously.
I'm good, thank you.
He waves his hands, and for everyone that asked for it, you see marshmallows just suddenly bloop, 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 appear in your cup. And he goes, "Oh, and for my head chef," he snaps. Johannes, you see a crazy straw appear in your mug of hot chocolate. It's like a super swirly crazy straw, like you would get at Bob Evans if you were a kid.
I'm gonna like look at him like right in the eyes and like take it out of my mug.
My head chef gets the cool straw.
I'll put it in Silva's mug.
Oh, he's an altruist, I see.
It's really hot. It would probably burn the back of my throat if I sucked it through a straw.
I don't know. I cooled mine down a little bit. Take a conspicuous sip of my spiked hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we're all here now.
Yeah.
Milo, tell us what's going on.
Yes. And he dims the lights down even further. I mentioned before that our city, as wonderful as it is, has had some rough patches following the conclusion of the war. There have been various goings on, strange disappearances, happenings that probably shouldn't happen. No doubt you've heard the rumors of cultish activity in the woods north of us, outside of the city limits. The Duskwood is not somewhere that anyone should travel, even if they are fully prepared, for you never truly know what you will find. Well, around the time that these rumors of cults bearing emeralds began to appear, something else began to happen as well. Are any of you familiar with druids?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, yes, obviously.
With a good number of them in the forest.
Yeah, they're not that uncommon, Milo.
No, it's pretty. Why do you say it with such trepidation?
I'll let you decide. You can either make an insight check on Milo, or you can make a history check into your own knowledge of druids here.
I want to do the latter. I want to do the history check.
I'm also going to do a history check.
I'm doing the insight.
Okay.
I did hang out with druids.
Oh,
I got.
They were cool.
I got a 9.
Help me figure out how
combined. Did that make such
hang out and sleep in the forest?
At
least the ones outside Charn. I got a 12.
Set and Johannes, you're familiar with the concept of a druid. You know that there are multiple circles of druids that exist seemingly throughout Eberron. Their connection with nature, they often are associated with magical wildlife as well. Supposed to be fairly powerful. I mean, you definitely know of them. You know, they seem to exist in several areas throughout Corvair. And Silva, as you say, you've known druids personally. You have personally consorted with druids, and the druids that you knew, they weren't hostile in any way. They were friendly. The look on Milo's face paints a different picture entirely. This is the most serious you have seen him look. Even as you took on the Elder Bass, there was still like the faintest hint of like brightness and like joy, like a childlike joy across his face.
Fish. Yeah, man was joyful to see that fish.
Right, but even after it passed, though, even then, as he was like mourning the fish, there was still that hint of like the light in his eyes. The way he is now, he looks like he has aged 10 years in 10 minutes. He appears deadly serious in this moment. These druids are not like the druids you think you know. I promise you that. No one has taken on these druids head to head and lived to tell the tale. They believe, from what we know, that we are responsible for these cults that have been performing rituals and causing mischief within the Duskwood. They blame us for it. And so they take it out on us by attacking the city.
Attacking it how?
It is like a storm sweeping over the land. You hear them and feel them before you ever see them. The ground is ripped asunder, buildings torn apart.
Oh my God.
It is a horrible experience.
And this has been going on for how long?
For about a month now. And as soon as they arrive, they vanish. It's been difficult for anyone to trace them back to their point of origin.
That was going to be my next question.
I mean, hey, you are. You're in a pretty centralized location of there in forces. What? Why? Why has this not been? Seems rather severe. Like this is pretty tantamount to some large scale attacks like this. I imagine. I feel as though this could garner you some assistance from government.
That's where things get a little more complicated, I'm afraid. See, the local government, absolutely. They see it as a pox upon our city, a plague that needs to be removed as soon as possible. But the larger government and the councils, they, insofar, have deemed it not enough of an issue to warrant the sending of additional aid. We don't understand why. But so far, we have largely been left to fend for ourselves.
Yeah, I was going to say, the leveling buildings seems rather severe.
They're always quick. It's never more than a building or two in an evening. Immense amounts of damage, hyper-focused into a small area, no more than 3 or 4 blocks. They destroy as much as they can. Large trees uprooting everything. Like nature reclaiming the land. And then before the hour is up, they're gone again. And we're left to clean up the damage.
And you said that they're doing this because of they believe this city to be the cause of the cults?
We do believe so. It's been difficult to exactly have a one-on-one conversation with them. Someone that I know who's a bit more on the up and up of things told me that one of these druids was captured and interrogated, and that was the information they were able to get out of them while they were still alive.
Well, then what it sounds like is that they should be making a show of taking on the cults, and that would assuage the druids.
You see here Alice kind of leans in. It seems like the council's they're trying as hard as they can to deflect and pretend that the cults don't exist in the first place. They're trying to disassociate themselves with these cults as much as possible, which to me reeks of them somehow having some sort of hand in it.
Indeed it does. Yeah, that does not sound good. Couple that with the information that, we were bringing here ourselves of werewolf sightings, and even an encounter that we had with one ourselves, that definitely does not bode good for the area at large.
We've had no werewolves here. Plenty of other feral beasts. There was a bit of a rat infestation about 10, 12 blocks away from us.
Be careful with those.
We have had some rough experience.
Had rats crawling all over it, and was nasty little bugger.
That's quite strange indeed.
It was an incredibly bizarre encounter that did not line up with what Silva was telling us about how the werewolves work with the phases of the moon. It didn't make sense. And that leads us for more concern. Who knows? This all could be linked together.
Interesting indeed. I think more than ever, it would be pertinent for you all to visit the library in the morning. Or possibly that apothecary I mentioned to you. Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Quite a few things on our plate that we need to get to in the morning.
Yeah, we need to figure out where Jack went.
Yes, of course. Did you make any progress on that?
No, the airship station was closed, and kind of where we think that there's the chance of where that being where he went.
But I think what we'll do is in the morning we'll all go grab that map so that we don't get lost, and then we can probably split up and go figure out what we need to do and make the most progress in as quick a timeline as we can.
That would be a good idea. Time is of the essence here.
Milo, do you need any assistance getting this place prepped for the evening, or?
Oh, no. Master Windleaf and myself will be able to take care of everything just fine.
I'll set some of my own things. Really should have thought my name through better.
He said sail. It's funny.
Anyways, I'm gonna put some of my own stuff together as well to make sure that no one gets in without letting someone know.
Some crafty work there. All right. Very well. Just make sure you have it disarmed by the morning so that we're not accidentally trapping any patrons or anything of the sort.
Oh, of course. I'll deactivate it as soon as I finish my rest, which is much shorter than the average person requires.
Night owl, eh?
To a point. Well, with that, let's all get some rest. It's been a long day.
Yeah. I hope Dak's okay.
Same here.
As you all move away from the table, you hear Milo say under his breath, "You know, the druids have a strong relationship with the Night Owl. They revere them, but not for their sight. No. For their ability to hunt." And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh.
Alrighty. Mystery and intrigue.
Yes, indeed. And next time we meet, we shall see if there is even more mystery and intrigue to be found, or if perhaps we can trade that in for some answers. But until then, who knows?
Who knew?
I know, because I'm the DM. All right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. And remember, respect curfew. Unless it's Halloween, then go crazy. See you guys next time.
See ya.